Hey everyone, my name is Jedi Mike 7. You can call me Mike. And today this is going to be my review of Loki episode 3 and also theory for the upcoming episode. Thank you guys for showing up to this video. I know I'm a few days late, but actually I spent this time actually do some more research to construct the theory that will have at the end of the video. So I'm going to say this is the third episode. We got 3 episodes left of this entire season. And I just gotta say that even though I felt this episode was more of kind of not won't say a filler, but just kind of a more somber episode than compared to the first two. I still feel they gave us a lot of information now to compare us for the second half of the season. So in the beginning of this episode, we're in a space in the sequence between us, the lady Loki that we find out in episode 2, and also the TVA agent that she captured in the beginning of episode 2. And this is a sequence. Basically, she's asking where it's timekeepers, and what you find that she's actually using her ability, which is the mind enhancement enchantment that she's using to control people. And you find out that this whole scene is actually manipulated just to get information from her and just to find where the timekeepers are, which is where she says that the timekeepers are at this golden door that we'll find out beginning of this going to the episode. So as we know that last week we had got the reveal of this lady Loki. However, it's not the lady Loki we might think. This is basically her combination of two characters. Lady Loki, if you know the comics, Lady Loki was basically the body of Lady Sif. And basically the soul of Loki basically possessed her body and basically became Lady Loki that you see on the left. And Sylvia is actually known as Enchantress in the comics, and she's been an ally and also villain for Loki for many years throughout the comics. So as you can see, there's probably a combination of both these characters, so it'd be distinct and not make her just a carbon copy of Loki, but also just a different, unique own character. I doubt Sophie DiMartino did a very good job as it's a new character, even though she's derived from a pre-existing character as a Loki played by Tom Hiddleston. I still think that she still made this character her own, and I think that we only got only a fraction of what she's actually going to be doing coming to the second half of the season. I'm really excited to see more of her. So I have to go back. Sylvia is now going to TVA right as they're going to the golden door, and then Loki follows her, and then basically they have a small altercation until they're presented by the rest of the TVA agents. Now in this scene here, you see that our Slayer, we mentioned in the last episode, that after Sylvia, as she's disrupted the entire sacred timeline, that she's now at the TVA. The mission is not meant to be controlling the TVA or take control of the timekeepers. Something different and something greater. Yet we don't know yet, and it hasn't been revealed. But this happens where Loki escapes and used the time pad to escape to a different timeline, known as this is the year 2077, and this is called Lamentis 1. Now, when I did further research about this, I found out that Lamentis 1 is actually the planet in the comics was like a colony for the Kree that was destroyed after the invasion and annihilation horde from the negative zone. You know, the Kree is also people you see from not only Guardians of the Galaxy, but also in Captain Marvel. So they're still in the same universe, and you've seen different planets that they're using. And I did further research about this, but this is known as the apocalypse, how this planet is about to be destroyed maybe just moments before after Loki and Sylvia arrives. But this whole time as they arrive to the planet, you didn't see them actually get to know each other and know that she's going by Sylvie, not Lady Loki, or not Loki. And you just seeing the duality of these characters, seeing the different personalities and banter. I felt that they did a good job. I think they have really good chemistry. In the beginning, Sylvia tried to enchant mind enchantment on Loki, but it didn't work. And I don't know, maybe it's because of the fact that it's herself and she's trying to get into his mind and she can't because she's a variation of him. But when you go in, he tried to find that there's a ship that's leaving the planet and they have to hijack it, knowing that they're basically trying to escape before the apocalypse runs this Earth. However, they can't use the time pad because the time pad is have low battery. They're trying to find this new ship that can have enough power to power this time pad so they can get out of this timeline. And as Loki disguised as one of the soldiers, as being the god of mischief as he is, they're able to get into the ship. Now, in this ship, this was a very, very crucial scene. Now, in this scene, you see them trying to get actually a moments of chaos and just talking as characters. As I mentioned before, that one of the best scenes I feel like Marvel has done and transitioned from is from being having the greatest moments, just being beams coming out of the sky and lasers and all this stuff, and basically a bunch of visual effects, and basically reduce to a more effective storytelling when just two characters that just talking and letting the dialogue drive the narrative. And I felt this was just another good scene. As of going back into episode 1, when Mobius and Loki was talking, I felt that was the highlight of that episode. And this episode, you see different variations of their history. Even though Sylvia, her history is still yet to be known. I know it's gonna be coming in the coming episodes, but she's still very secretive about. We just still know her actual history compared to the pre-existing history of Loki that we know with Thor, Asgard, him being a frost giant, everything, and everything like that. But when you find out is that the difference here is that Sylvia, she didn't know her mother. However, Loki had a relationship with his mother and taught him everything about magic. And she asked, how was the mother like to him? So basically showing that the absence in her timeline, that her mother was very absent in her life. And also, but the difference is also that she knew, unlike a Loki, she knew that she was adopted. So they're just seeing how the different personalities and different histories were actually, comparing and contrasting each other's history. I thought that was very good. Now, this is one of the big highlights, and not really a big spoiler, but what you find out here, that as they're talking about love and the concept of love, and they're asking about, have you ever been finding love with princesses or perhaps another prince? And then Loki confirms a bit of both. I suspect the same with you. And when you find out that this confirms that Loki, it may be either part of the LGBT community or bisexual, whatever they want to clarify it. As I mentioned before, in one of the scenes, if you look in beginning episodes of Loki's profile, you find out he was also gender fluid. But also, I just think this is just nice form of representation. But now further, this is a test to Marvel is how far they're going to go with this sexuality. Just saying, instead of saying, oh yeah, he's gay or he's bi or whatever, and does it actually play into the story coming in the upcoming episodes? We have yet to find out. But yeah, I thought that was just a nice scene that you just find out and basically confirm basically the obvious. So going in, you've seen then they continue, they get an altercation. Loki is basically going in. They're both getting drunk. Well, actually, Loki's the one getting drunk, and then he basically reminisces the scene of him actually, drinking, and then throwing the glass, saying another, just like Thor did in the first Thor movie back in 2011. And I thought that was just kind of funny, just a callback. But obviously, there are a bunch of soldiers who find out that they don't have the ticket to get onto the ship, so they basically get out and they escape. When they escape, lo and behold, that Loki did have the time pad. However, when he got out of the ship, the time pad was basically destroyed, and it's Sylvia is getting upset and mad, and got to the point where they decided whether they're going to go and hijack the ship that's supposed to leave the planet before the apocalypse come. And this scene again is just showing the witty banner again, but also kind of humanizing the character, just showing like how they're going to get out of this chaos that they both put themselves in before they're able to die. And then going into another thing, which we're going to go into my theory at the end of this episode, end of this video, that you find out is that when she was talking, explained how Loki, how she used the mind enhancement to control people or again to their memories and everything like that. What she said that she was trying to track memories basically many years before they joined TVA. Now this contradicts what they were been told by Mobius when Loki was saying that the timekeepers basically created the TVA and all the timekeepers in there. And what she said was basically they're all variants, confirming the theory that this is not basically a bureaucracy, it's a cult. And as you mentioned, in the recent one of the previous episodes, the character R Slayer, when she was talking to Mobius in the Mobius, in her office, she's basically saying that she knows that the timekeepers are very involved. However, Mobius has never even met the timekeepers, so it just shows you kind of having this more cult-like mindset than actually bureaucracy. So let's go on. We'll move forward in the episode. But this is interesting, and this goes on to my theory, which we'll go into in the video. Now, after a bunch of basically this sequence of them running away in chaos and going to the point where when they talked about C20, the variant that for some reason that a Nexus and TVA agent probably arrested her, and you probably find out that it probably erased her memories, and now that she works for the TVA, that she doesn't think that she's a variant. So I think this kind of going to more things of what actually is the mindset and motive of the TVA, and is also the whole commercial at the end, played by Miss Minutes, who voiced by Tara Strong, who voices Timmy Turner and a bunch of other famous animated characters. Is that is actually a constructed narrative than the truth? We will yet to find out. Um, as we go on to the rest of the ending of the episode, it's a big event. This is a very quick scene, as you see that Loki and Sylvia, when they're running in a continuous shot, which I thought that the way this film, this entire scene was shot in one continuous shot of them running through chaos, fighting different bunch of soldiers and trying to basically get to the ship, using their ability, using their powers. I thought that was very well. It reminded me of the scene, one of the scenes running from the film The Children of the Men, a sequence of them running in a continuous shot. That was kind of cool. But then, as you see, the ship basically exploded, and hence the end of the episode, leaving us to now speculate what's going to happen in the rest of the season. I mean, rest of the fourth episode, going to the second half of the season. Now, as I mentioned, we mentioned before, after the still sacred timeline is still broken, and we have not seen Mobius in this episode or any of the other TVA agents other than the beginning of it, so we still don't know the actual chaos that the sacred timeline is going to be in. Now, if you don't even remember, I mentioned that the planet that they were on, Lamentis 1, in the comics is the planet of Kang, Kang the Conqueror. Now, Kang the Conqueror, like I mentioned before, has a relationship with the leader of the TVA bureaucracy. So I think that she also knows that all these people are variants. Now, whether she's a variant is yet to be explained. I don't think she is. I think she's actually in the game. I actually think she's in the into the whole false narrative, and basically, getting the TVA agent basically drinking the Kool-Aid of the constructed narrative of the timekeepers and protecting the sacred timeline, and only to hide what's the bigger picture, and who is actually the puppet master behind all these strings. I feel like that one of the theories that we're saying, talking about with this leader of the TVA bureaucracy, as I do further research, I'm going to the comics, and this remind me of the character of Mobius, played by Owen Wilson. That's the fact that they're confirmed that they're variants. As you mentioned in the last episode or in previous episodes, he kept reminiscing various things from the 90s, i.e., jet skiing, or anything, or even drinking soda that's from the 90s that doesn't exist anymore. So I'm thinking that he's remembering his old memories that he had that before they're erased, before he's being a TVA agent. Now, hopefully, we get to see him, with a pair of jet skis at the end of the season, just for some comedic relief, whatever. Whether he will know the truth is yet to be known. But what you also know in the comic, he now on more than one version of himself. And when you find out, is that basically that this probably, hopefully, we can see the scene having multiple different versions of Mobius in the same scene, or different versions of Owen Wilson. And I think that probably very interesting. It might be a big reveal. Maybe episode 4, episode 5, I'm not sure. But then this goes to the rest of my theory, is that I'm thinking that, as we might know that the falsehood that they're being lied to, that they're variants, let's keep going back to the question that where is actually the timekeepers being held? Where is the TVA? Where do they exist in the Marvel universe, right? And I'm thinking that they exist into the quantum realm. Now, for those of you who know what the quantum realm is, the quantum realm has basically been a MacGuffin that's been used since Ant-Man. We're using him for shrinking technology, but also go in different points in time. For example, when you go into the events of not only Ant-Man and the Wasp, but Avengers Endgame, they use the quantum realm to go back in time to get different points of Infinity Stones in different parts of time. Now, if you remember, after the one in the events of Ant-Man, Hank Pym's wife, Janet Van Dyne, who was also the original Wasp in the comics, she was lost in the quantum realm, and she would presumably be dead, but she was living there, and she had been alive this whole time, and then she got out at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, what you find out that she explained that there's civilizations here, there's is evolution that happens here. Now, also, she says that the fact that her age, how she didn't age differently, she says time moves differently here in the quantum realm. Now, that line also gets brought up again when Ant-Man is also stuck in the quantum realm during the whole Thanos snap and him going into 5 years. Remember, after there was a 5-year gap between, after Thanos snapped, basically to Scott Lang, it was only 5 hours. And he basically said time worked differently in the quantum realm. This line is also said again by Owen Wilson when in the first episode, when Loki was talking about the TVA and says, "How long have you been here?" He said, "Time moves passes differently here in the TVA." It's the exact same line, and I think that's not coincidence. So I'm thinking that the TVA exists in the quantum realm. Hence the reason why they're time traveling. Hence why they can act in different points in time. And maybe thinking that there might be some players involved, i.e., Kang the Conqueror, that they played by Jonathan Majors. Now, will we see him in this season? I don't know. I think it might be a tease to his character. We do have Ant-Man and the Wasp that's currently filming right now, or Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania, which is the third Ant-Man film in the trilogy. And Jonathan Majors, who's going to be playing Kang the Conqueror, the time-traveling villain, who's connected to TVA. They're shooting currently right now in London. So I think maybe because of the pandemic that he might be in the show, maybe not. We have yet to confirm or deny that, but we'll know hopefully very soon. Now, going to next episode, I think that one of the things I felt that we needed to know is more of Sylvia backstory, which is that's one of my negatives of this episode, but I think it's just more of his patience that I've been craving. Like, who is this Lady Loki or this Lady Loki and Sylvia hybrid, and what history is it, and why she's after TVA, why she's trying to destroy it. And as you see this scene here, one of the promos of the upcoming episode, that we're basically going to see a flashback of her as a child. So hopefully we get to explain her motive of the mission and everything, so we won't be actually confused and moving forward. So going to the end of this video, I said that this was not probably my least favorite so far. It wasn't a bad episode, but it was more my least favorite. I thought the first two episodes were kind of bigger, but I think that the bigger episodes, this was just basically preparing the second half of the season. So I gotta say, to the score that I have for this episode is going to be a 6.5 out of 10. I thought it was a good episode. There's like slow pacing throughout this episode. Again, going to narrative, revealing that Loki is basically bisexual or part of the LGBT community, and also the fact that the Time Variance Authority, that all the people that are working there are also variants. So this can be a big reveal, knowing that they're being lied to, they don't even know it. So I think that there's a lot of things that I can be prepared for, and I just can't wait to see what they're going to do. So going on, and to end this video, thank you guys for coming in. You can subscribe to Jedi Mike 7 on Instagram and YouTube. Please comment, like, and share. Tell me what your thoughts on the episode. And once again, I'll see you guys next time. My name is Jedi Mike. Until next time, bye-bye.